Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Module 5, EDU 695, our special topics course around instructional coaching and mentoring. This week, we are going to focus on ways to engage students in the curriculum and strategies for assessing student attitudes. Our guiding questions for this week are: how do you help your novice or collaborating teacher reflect her teaching practices systemically or systematically? How do you continue to reinforce the importance of student voices? How can a formal agenda and meeting with parents help communication? How can you help your novice or collaborating teacher create a community of learners? And what tools or strategies might you use to help assess students' attitudes? We have 3 module objectives, and they are as follows. 1, to explain how you might coach a collaborating teacher around effectively assessing and using student voice to improve her teaching. 2, apply coaching strategies to a mentoring dilemma and explain how you would respond to the situation. That one should not be unfamiliar to you at this point. And 3, describe strategies for helping a novice or collaborating teacher create a community of learners. This week, we'll continue reading our 2 common texts. So the impact cycle, what instructional coaches should do to foster powerful improvements in teaching. You'll be reading the section on strategies for assessing student attitudes. So it's part of the appendix in the back, that complementary section, and there are lots of great examples of ways that you could assess, so it's tools that you could use for assessing student attitudes. The focus for this week will really be around the mentoring in action, guiding, sharing, and reflecting with novice teachers. And you'll be asked to read and view the videos associated with January and February. So kind of new year, new beginnings. How do you work with your novice teachers to help them make the most of the months that follow with the students that they are teaching? Your learning assignments or learning activities for this week are: 1, to be able to reflect using mindfulness to explore a mentoring dilemma. And this week, the mentoring dilemma is twofold, and you're going to choose one of them that speaks to you that you'd like to respond to for this learning activity. So one is, it doesn't matter what the students think. So a mentee's opinion around that. And then the second dilemma, which is an option for you, is this content accurate? So if you have been in mentoring or coaching relationships for very long at all, it doesn't have to be for too long, you are apt to run across some content being taught where you're like, I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate. And so thinking about what you would do in that situation if that was the feeling that you had. Or sometimes you know for sure because it's content that you're very familiar with and you know that the content is inaccurate. So then thinking about how you respond and engage with the novice teacher or the collaborating teacher is an important one to consider. The second learning activity is around the idea of community of learners. So this is something that we've kind of mentioned as we've moved through the course so far. But now I'm asking for you to compose and submit a written response to the prompt of asking you to describe strategies for helping a novice or collaborating teacher create a community of learners. So what do you see as the key components of that, the strategies, tools, the ideas that you would expect them to be able to implement, and so that everybody feels safe in their classroom? Everybody feels that they are part of a positive learning environment. The discussion prompt for this week is around using student voice to improve teaching. So what I'm asking for you to do is to explain how you might coach a collaborating teacher around effectively assessing and using student voice to improve her teaching. What are the strategies, tools, protocols, or resources that you have used or that you might consider using to help another teacher effectively assess and use student voice. Hope you have a wonderful week of learning.